Hello students. Now case study based on COVID test we will do, which says that of people having COVID, 90% of the test detects the disease. That means we can say it shows the positive result. But 10% goes undetected. That means negative result we can say. For which category of the people having COVID? Okay. So of the people free of COVID, 99% is judged COVID. That means positive 99% shows, but 1% negative also it diagnoses. But the people is free from COVID. Okay. So 99% negative it shows. If it is free from COVID, 9 but 1% somewhere they show that it is COVID positive. Then from a large population of which only 0.1% have COVID, one person is selected at random, given the COVID PCR test, and pathologist report says that he is COVID positive. Based on the above information, we should answer the questions. Now here we have to first analyze the question. There are two categories of the people. One which has COVID, okay, having COVID. Second is free from COVID. Free from COVID. So what we can do? We can decide our E1 and E2. E1, E2 person has COVID and E2 person is free from COVID. Fine. Now, how many population have COVID? It is clearly mentioned here, 0.1%. 0.1% have COVID, 0.1. That means we can say 99.9% will be free from COVID, isn't it? So these two percentage are actually what? Probability of person has COVID is 0.1%, or we can say 0.1 by 100. And person free from COVID, probability of E2, from 100 we can subtract to get this number, isn't it? Because it is in percentage given, 99.9%. So till here it's clear. Having COVID, free from COVID. Having COVID 0.1%, free from COVID 99.9%. Now both undergo a COVID test. Positive, it shows positive result, negative result, positive result, negative also. Now see first line if you read, having COVID, 90% of the test detect. That means if person has COVID, so positive result, chances of coming positive result is 90%. Negative 10%. Fine. Then people free of COVID, 90% judged COVID negative. So if free from COVID, so negative will be 99%. But 1% diagnosed positive, 1% positive. So actually A event, if we consider person is COVID positive or person has COVID. So what are these probabilities actually? What are these probabilities? Okay. If person has COVID means we are interested in positive result. So this 90% is actually what? Probability of person has COVID given that, or it is known that he doesn't have COVID. That is 90%. Okay, or 90 by 100. What is this 1%? Person has COVID, that is probability of A. It is given that the person is from which batch, which section, category, free of COVID, means batch E2, 1%. Okay, so with this flow chart we can clearly get the idea what is given. Okay, now we'll check the question one by one. See first question. what is the probability that person to be tested as COVID positive, given that he is actually having COVID. Okay. So having COVID, we suppose this as event E, right? Person is COVID positive means A. So actually in first question, what are they asking? Probability of COVID if person is actually having COVID. P of A by even, which we already know, which is given in the question 90%. Okay, 90% or 9 by 10 probability. Okay, so 9 by 10 is the answer for the first one. Second question, see, what is the probability of the person to be tested COVID positive given that he is actually not having COVID? Okay, tested positive means A, not having COVID means from second category, isn't it? So actually they are asking A by E2. Person has COVID positive and he is from, given that he is from not having COVID. That is also given. 1% it is given, 1%. 1 by 100 is the answer. Okay. Now question is probability only. They are not asking percentage. So we will write in probability form. We can write 0.9 or 0.001. Fine. Third question says, what is the probability that person is actually not having COVID? See, two events we have described here. E1 having COVID. So probability of E1 will be what? Probability of the person having COVID. E2 we described as not having COVID. Person is not having COVID. So probability of E2 will be what? Probability of the person not having COVID. That is only asked, isn't it? So question, all three questions are direct questions. So probability not having we considered as probability of E2, free from COVID, which is given as, which we have found actually. Having COVID was given 0.1%, then we subtracted from 0, we got 99.9%, but question is probability. That also you have to check, okay, probability or percentage asked. So 99.9 by 100. So you can say 0.999. This is the probability of the person having COVID. Okay, let's check the fourth question. What is the probability that person is actually having COVID given that? Means probability of person is actually having COVID. What is given? That he is tested as COVID positive. Okay. So having COVID, again I will revise, two category we selected. E1 having COVID and E2 free from COVID. So person is, probability of person having COVID means E1, given that, so conditional probability, tested COVID positive A. Okay, so that means we know P of A will be in the denominator. That means probability of getting COVID and favorable outcome using Bayes theorem will be E1, probability of A by E1. Fine. What is the probability that the person selected will be diagnosed as COVID positive? So question number 5 actually says total probability of getting COVID, probability of A. So what I will do, I will find question 5 first, then the same value of P of A I will use for question 4 directly. So probability of getting COVID positive means what? Maybe person is having COVID and got the result positive. This is the first case, है ना? Having COVID means we'll select by P of E1 and got selected or got the COVID positive result, or maybe free from COVID and got the result positive. So all these probabilities we have. P of E1 is 0.1%, है ना? Having COVID, it is given. A by E1 is 90%. Plus E2 99.9%. And A by E2 is 1%. Okay. So it will be 9 by 10,000 we can write. And this will be 99.9 by 10,000. So if we will add, we will get 108.9 by 10,000. So this probability we can say 1089 by, we can add zeros here, 5 zeros will be enough. Okay, or you can write in fraction form also, 0.001089. This will be the probability. But to find the question number 4, I will be using this value. Okay. So question number 4, already we got answer or formula as this, P of E1, P of A by E1 divided by P of A. So P of E1 is 0.1 by 100. A by E1 is 90 by 100. And P of A we got as 1089 by this. Now we'll observe the cancellation here. We can cancel 4 zeros directly. And these two if you multiply you will get 9. This 10 is remaining here, that will go up. That will make it 90. 1089. So we can convert into maybe 9, cancel by 9 directly. Yes, 10 by 121 will be the final answer. I hope it's clear. You understood the case study. Thank you so much.